The cool northeast wind has been causing low pressure areas in this part of the globe during this time of year. We have experienced heavy rainfall, sometimes moderate, and at other times just like drizzles or dark clouds. After many days of downpour, the rain finally subsided. It's refreshing to wake up to this kind of weather, cool yet bright outside. The sound of rain has been replaced by the cheerful chirping of the birds and the crowing of roosters. Just like the weather, something within me has settled. Since the beginning of the year, my gut has been in turmoil. I had experienced the worst pain in my life, next only to a heartbreak. As for me, nothing compares to the pain of a broken heart. At first, I suspected it might be trapped gas. I tried getting my lower back massaged, but the pain would just drift to my mid-back. And when I had my mid-back massaged, there was a brief sense of relief. But soon I found myself at square one. Some people suggested that I should take antacids, but I was reluctant to believe that it was due to excess acid. Because after evaluating my diet, I realized I had been consuming a lot of meat and sweets. Throughout December, there were continuous feasts for birthdays, parties, weddings, and holiday preparations. I concluded that it made more sense for me to have a deficiency of acid rather than an abundance of it in my gut. This experience has reminded me that the very first step to freedom and healing is understanding the cause of the problem. I began to accept that the cause might not be trapped gas after all, but rather acid. So I decided to see a doctor and took the medications that he prescribed for acid reflux. I also watched some videos about GERD to understand it better and connect the dots as to why I was experiencing mid-back pain instead of a classic heartburn. Then I started avoiding unhealthy and acidic foods. I stopped drinking coffee, soft drinks, and other sugary beverages. I also refrained from overeating and opted for small, frequent meals instead. I noticed that taking lemon gave me some relief, but I ultimately avoided it altogether. On the first day that I took the medications and applied all this newfound knowledge, my gut did not hurt, but my mid-back pain was overwhelming. But now that I understand that it was not simply muscle pain, but rather an inflamed esophagus, I no longer seek relief from traditional massage therapies, but just endure the pain, knowing that it will be alright. So the next day I felt better, and that is what I meant when I said that something has settled within me. It was January 19 when I started making this video, but it took me a week to finish it due to work demands, rest, and family obligations. And up to this moment, I feel so much better. I remember the doctor asked if I often starved myself, to which I replied no. On the contrary, I was always full. Perhaps that's why my esophageal sphincter opened up, causing the acid to reflux. I believe this experience is an answered prayer, because God has been dealing with me regarding my weight as an issue of self-control. Every time I try to lessen my carbohydrate intake, my cravings fight back, making it hard to resist. You know that feeling of not wanting to miss any opportunity to eat? That was my mindset. But when I see myself in the mirror, I don't like what I see. I pray to God for help. So the pain that I was experiencing forced me to stop and adopt the mindset of eating to live rather than living to eat. It prompted me to choose my food wisely and stop before I feel full. I was also alarmed to realize that my uncle on my mother's side had cancer of the esophagus, which ultimately led to his death. I began to think that he may have been battling untreated GERD. Perhaps the acid in the esophagus can cause inflammation and in the long run lead to more serious issues. I'm telling you, do not underestimate the pain you are feeling. God created us in such a way that our bodies have their own way of warning us that they are being abused. Thank you for watching. God bless.